What's up, everyone? This is Nick at Stridewise.com. We look at casual and durable footwear and menswear here, normally from New York City, today in the UK. So what better place to finally address the question I'm relentlessly getting on this channel? What's the difference between US and UK sizing? US and UK shoe sizing are so similar that a lot of people don't even know that they are actually quite different until it's too late. And they've ordered a British size and it's come to America and it's the wrong size. And to help us through this, I'm talking to two people, Dominic Goral of Goral Footwear, who is a British man who makes shoes in the UK and sells them to the US. What better guest could we possibly get? And we are also with Colin Papworth, who is a podiatrist here in the UK. He's in Chesterfield, England, and he's gonna help us out with sort of how shoes should fit, which is a special interest of his, of course, as a podiatrist. Thank you for coming on the channel.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You actually talk to Americans all day who are trying to order your British shoes. Let's say I'm an American, I'll say, I'm a size 12. What do you do?
Usually you would kind of suggest kind of size down. So we would say UK 11 is a US 12. That's a good starting point.
From the running shoes that we've seen, it can be a size or it could be half a size. So some brands will have a size difference. Some brands will have half size difference as well.
Well, that's the trouble because the numbers are so close to the US ones. They're not weird enough looking to know it's wrong.
A UK 8.5 would translate to a US 9.5.
Hey, this is America Nick here. In the future, I was editing this and I realized that this video might make you despair and think that there is no correct answer to the question of translating UK and US shoe sizing. And so I'm jumping in here real quick to say, just subtract one. If you're an 11 in US boots, you're a 10 in UK boots. If you're 11 in US sneakers, you're a 10 in UK sneakers. That is very, very likely to be the answer that you're looking for. However, when you go into a shoe store, they put your foot on that device to tell you what your shoe size is. That's called the Brannock device. That's what we use in the US. And a big problem between US versus UK sizing, there's no similar device in the UK, is there? It's not standardized.
There may be different devices that will, again, not related to anything particular.
Oh, really? So there's not like one, like the Brannock?
No, but there are Brannock devices here, but yeah, not everyone will have them.
But it really then depends on kind of the different styles and stuff. You know, the sneaker will have a different fit and width compared to, I would say, a loafer or a boot and different instep and stuff. So
this is the worst part of it because it's hard enough for a guy to know what his shoe size is. But it gets even worse when you realize you'll have like 4 different sizes anyway. Like for me, my Brannock size, it's my official literal size. It's 11.5. In sneakers, I'm a 12 because they tend to be a bit bigger. Boots, I think largely because they're Goodyear welted, but even when they're not, boots are a half size down from your true size usually. So I'm an 11 in all my boots. And loafers, because I got to fit a bit more tighter and also because the construction is also different, I'm often a 10.5 in loafers. There's actually several correct answers based on what kind of shoe you're buying. Even if you've done the responsible thing and gone and gotten measured by a shoe salesman in the UK or the US, you've got 4 different sizes you actually are. I don't know, man. Does it work the same in the UK? Do loafers tend to have a smaller number than boots, smaller number than your true size, smaller number than sneakers?
Yeah, there needs to be that scale of things. Yeah. So that smaller fit is going to the last in the shoe or the smaller. Yeah, if it's a slip-on shoe, it needs to be a little bit tighter, closer into your foot. So with a boot, if you're walking around and doing it a bit more, then potentially, you can have a little bit bigger. You've got that room to have your foot to move a little bit.
And then you've got to take into account, is it going to be cold? Like, is this something you're going to wear a thick sock with? You've
got some sneakers from kind of other British brands and stuff, right? So what kind of size do you usually wear?
With British brands, I'm normally an 11. There's a good chance that the British size is going to be one down from the American size.
I think that would be a good starting point.
Don't you do widths differently though? Because in the US...
It's a nightmare. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
In the US, D is the normal, the standard width. Basically, nobody does narrow, but it's pretty common in the US, at least for boots, for a brand to offer a one wide size. Brands in the UK, they don't tend to offer wide sizes as often, do they?
Especially not on the sneakers now, but kind of, I was saying the formals, they do, but it correlates differently to the kind of the widths in the US.
My understanding is Americans like roomier shoes than Europeans.
I would say it's a bit more kind of roomy compared to like the other Italian brands and stuff. So
yeah.
Kind of, but and that's kind of...
But compared to Americans?
It's a bit kind of, I would say, a bit narrower. Because we sell a lot to the US and usually it's kind of double E, like what most people kind of tend to go for, like E to double E in terms of the width.
If you're a wide width, if you're like an E width in America, good chance you're probably double E, extra wide in the UK. But you also don't call your widths DF, right? Isn't there like either
I
G
mean,
or something?
yes, but we, as a kind of Goral business, we've changed it more towards kind of US. So we do actually have.
You say D and E here.
Yeah.
Okay, but generally in the UK, what letter? How do you signify a wide
I
width?
mean, you got G, F, and kind of different fits, and kind of double E as well.
What's normal?
Kind of, I've read it's E.
And if I'm a wide width foot, I should get like a G.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't really do F.
No.
That's a nightmare. Do you have an idea as to like, I don't know if ethnically is the right word, but as I understand it, if you average the feet of everyone in the US and the UK, US feet, they tend to actually be a bit wider, like literally, right?
I suppose seeing a lot of English feet here, not many Americans, but sort of from working in running shops and just seeing this brands coming out with different things, then yeah, it tends to be American ones will always be a little bit wider or get those wider fits.
Numbers aside, do British shoes fit differently to American shoes as a rule?
I suppose the brands would be a little bit narrower lasting, so just that shape. Yeah, I would say that it is a definite difference.
I would say it's a bit more kind of roomy compared to like the other Italian brands and stuff. So
Yeah.
kind of, but that's kind
But
of,
compared to Americans,
it's a bit kind of, I would say a bit narrower.
Yeah, and I think again, because a lot of English shoes will come from that very traditional, like leather-soled shoe, that brogue style of shoe, that very smart shoe, which again is a much narrower fit. You get more of a pointy toe on it. So it tends to be European, tend to be a much smaller, much more narrower shoe, even sort of from the sports side of things. So if you want in a narrower fit, then you go for an Italian brand of sort of boot or footwear.
what percentage of people do you think know their size? Like actually know their shoe size, like their Brannock size?
I don't know. I've read it somewhere that like kind of 90% of people actually wear the wrong size. Yeah, I mean, usually they kind of say, oh, I'm this size in this brand, but really kind of different brand will have different sizes.
People will have a number, but it doesn't often relate to the shoe that they're wearing. It's almost like your brand or your identity. This is my shoe size. And if you go into a shop and it's like, oh, it's something different, and it's like, oh, I'm not quite sure whether that shoe's going to sort of fit.
Oh yeah, it's questioning everything you've ever thought you knew about your body.
Exactly.
As a podiatrist, you know, you're looking at people who've picked the wrong shoes all day. Like, what are some other common problems that they've done to themselves when they've been sizing their shoes?
So that's the main thing. I think historically they've just stuck with one size. So again, as people get a little bit older, the foot shape may change as well. So it's going to get potentially a little bit wider, a little bit longer. So that's sort of a fairly big issue with actually having to adapt and change.
What's the common miscommunications that you find in the realm of sizing?
I think it's just like the most is not about the length, it's about the width. And like the shoes tend to be kind of a lot narrower. So like we tend to like kind of suggest for our kind of US customer base to go with the wide fit, kind of rather than a standard fit.
But usually we can work it out. So usually I ask them to measure their feet. So to trace their foot on a piece of paper and then measure from like the tip of the big toe to the heel. So we introduced that. And so far we've not had as many complaints about sizing as before.
If a brand doesn't have a rep available on email or Instagram,
I mean, we
answering these questions, don't buy from them. Honestly, they don't deserve your business. If there's no one there to help sell to Americans, don't buy from them. That. Goral has one, right? You answering?
Yeah, well,
All right, okay, good. All right, good. Then
No, I suppose it'd be good if everything was standardized, whether that would ever happen. Can we get a worldwide sort of
one world, new world order? Yeah, we'll get a global government. Americans love that kind of talk. So whatever kind of footwear you're interested in buying from the UK that brought you to this video, these guys can help you out. Thanks for having me at UFAC.
as well. Thanks.
Colin Papware, thank you for coming on the channel and giving
Thanks very much. Yeah, cheers. Thank you.